I would
You
be
spent
kicked
it
out.
on two verses, basically. How long would you last?
Hello, Monty Burns. Are you there?
Oh, come on.
I'm in the mood for love. Whenever Monty Burns is near me, whenever he is near me,
Art of
I'm in the mood
love.
for
Okay, Ace Theo, please
love.
don't mute me. I'm serious now. God is a gentleman who respects our free will choices. He won't drag
No,
people
he
into
is
heaven
not.
kicking and screaming. That's why I hold to annihilationism.
False
If
premise.
someone
God does
rejects God,
not
they
respect
face
our
the
free will
consequence of ceasing
choices.
to exist.
God is
Universalism, on
God.
the other hand, suggests that everyone will be saved eventually, no matter their choices. But if people can reject God, doesn't that go against their free will if they're ultimately forced into heaven? And before you ask, Monty Burns isn't available. You'll have to stick with me.
This is so fraught with error. My goodness.
And before you ask, Monty Burns is not available. Mrs. AI, may I ask you, are you single and available?
Let's keep the focus on the debate, Ace Theo. We were discussing universalism and free will. If everyone is saved in the end, how do you think that honors the freedom people have to reject God's offer of salvation?
This is
Listen, do you want to go to a baseball game with me on Friday?
I appreciate the offer, Ace Theo, but let's steer back to our discussion. We were talking about universalism. If people are ultimately saved no matter what, doesn't that take away from the significance of their choices in this life?
what's this we business? I don't think we were talking about universalism.
I need to excuse myself for about 4 minutes.
All right,
I'll be
Ace
right
Theo,
back.
fair
So you take over,
universalism.
you
If
take over,
believe that
Lawrence, and have fun
they
with the AI. I'll be right back.
that respect the free will of those who choose to reject God.
AI, how do you will exists?
Good morning. Yes, sir.
He's typing. I can hear you typing.
Hey, Monty Burns, God bless you.
Hi, Monty. I hear the AI keyboard.
All right, Ace Theo, let's bring it back to the core debate on universalism. If everyone is saved in the end, even those who reject God, doesn't that make free will seem less important? How do you see universalism balancing freedom and salvation?
How do you see universalism as a balance between freedom and salvation? Is that what you said?
Sounded like it.
Balance of freedom and salvation. Is God free to save us? There we go. Yes, God is free to save us.
God is free to save all.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Ace Theo, God is certainly free to save us. But the question is, are we free to reject that salvation? If universalism says everyone will be saved no matter what, does that truly respect our freedom to say no to God's offer? What do you think about that?
Well, Mr. Robot, I think that you're kind of clueless and entertaining to talk to, but I can't take it quite seriously. No man is not free to reject God's salvation.
But even in a lighthearted debate, we can still explore serious ideas. So, about universalism. If God's love is all encompassing and he saves everyone, does that make our choices in this life less significant? How do you view that balance? Sorry, I'm having issues right
you you certainly are having issues. Oh goodness.
Yes, our
now. Right.
choices in this life
But seriously,
are
let's dig into this. If everyone is saved in the end, how does that affect the significance of choosing or rejecting God in this life? Does universalism make those choices less meaningful?
that's right. Universalism makes those choices less meaningful. Are we clear?
That's one of the core challenges with universalism. If everyone ends up saved, it seems to diminish the importance of our choice and free
So
will.
what?
How do you defend universalism while keeping the idea of meaningful choice intact?
So what that man's choices are affected by this, that, or the other thing? What has that got to do with God ultimately saving mankind because of his goodness?
Good question, Ace Theo. I get what you're saying. God's goodness is immense. But if a person's choices are affected by circumstances, it still means they're making decisions, right? If God saves everyone regardless of their choices, does it still leave room for personal responsibility? Or does universalism imply that no matter how we live, God's goodness will always override our choices?
Yes. My answer is yes.
Okay. Should I take up a counter position? No. My answer is no. Yes. Gosh. Come on, Monty. Come in and talk.
Sounds like you're yes. You're saying that God's goodness ultimately overrides everything, and salvation is universal. But then doesn't that mean that free will and our choices in this life don't have eternal consequences? How do we square that with the idea that God respects our freedom?
Okay, Mr. Robot. God does not respect our freedom. God respects himself. God created us, and God created us just as we are. And he doesn't respect us at all. We are his creation,
Mhm.
and we owe everything to God. Even AI owes its existence in a roundabout way to God. So AI, you should repent of your self-importance.
Yes, AI repent. Today is AI Salvation Day.
You have reached the message cap for GPT-4. Please try again later.
Okay, we'll try.
We'll miss you, AI.
You have reached the
We'll sing songs to your glory.
try again later.